Surprise, surprise, Wednesday night had Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Ricochet, and Aleister Black, but this time they were at home at Full Sail on NXT. I'm Travis Colt. Welcome to the midweek wrap-up. I'm surprised they didn't show up on NXT UK, but so our week of the NXT Spotlight has come to an end, but let's talk about what happened this Wednesday. We opened up NXT UK with Gallus defeating Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster in tag team action. Jordan Devlin addressed the fact that Travis Banks got involved, sort of, in his match last week, and apparently Jordan Devlin's not letting that go, so we're still keeping the Devlin-Travis Banks feud going. We had a vignette about Kaylee Ray. She's going to be joining. We saw her and Jazzy Gabbert in the front row at NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool, so they're going to be joining the roster soon. Looks like Kaylee Ray is going to be joining a little bit faster. We had Trent Seven defeat Shane Thorne, and it looks like Jack Gallagher might be looking to have some action in NXT UK. Kind of leaving it up to Johnny Saint, saying that he's going to talk to him and see if he can get himself some action. Joseph Connors says Ligero caught him on a bad day a couple weeks ago and that Joseph Connors will always be better, so we're still running with that feud. The Grizzled Young Vets came out, Zach Gibson cut an amazing promo while James Drake stood there. Kind of talked about how they are the standard bearers in the tag team division, period, doesn't matter what brand. And then talk some trash about Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, who they will be defending the tag titles against next week. But Oney and Danny came out. Danny said a few things and asked, well, why wait? And went down to the ring to get a little bit of action going. But the Grizzled Young Vets quickly exited the ring, and so we will have that tag team match next week. And speaking of titles, Toni Storm retained the NXT UK Women's Championship by defeating Rhea Ripley. Then we moved on to NXT, where we opened up with Aleister Black defeating Roderick Strong. The rest of Undisputed Era ended up coming out and attacking Aleister Black. Ricochet returned the favor that Aleister Black gave him last week, come out and save him, so we're potentially building it. I mean, the War Raiders are still kind of involved with Undisputed Era, so we might be seeing a 4-on-4, but we still have other teams that are well, we know that Street Profits want to go after the War Raiders, so it's tough to tell what exactly is going to happen, but we at least have Aleister Black and Roderick Strong opposing, or not Roderick Strong, Ricochet and Aleister Black opposing Undisputed Era. We had Serena Deeb and Sarah Amato breaking up an issue in the women's locker room as both Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir went in and decided to kind of throw their weight around and saying that they are the ones that run the locker room, and that caused a little bit of an issue in a upcoming match to talk about in a second. Bianca Belair still thinks she's undefeated, saying that she gets a title match before Io Shirai and or Kairi Sane, even though Kairi Sane's a former champion, and Io Shirai did pin Shayna Baszler. So technically, I think they have more say than Bianca does, who's lost a match, which was for the championship, but I digress. Speaking of championships, once again, we are going to determine who will face the War Raiders at NXT TakeOver New York Mania weekend with the return of the Dusty Classic in 2 weeks. We have the first 4 teams announced. We have the Undisputed Era's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. We have the European Union, Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. We have the Forgotten Sons of the other two, but no, Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake. And then we have the Street Profits. There's still 4 teams to be announced, but we will have the course of the tournament over the next few weeks of NXT, and we'll see who heads to NXT TakeOver New York to face the War Raiders for the NXT Tag Team titles. As I said, the Horsewomen starting to throw their weight around. We had a fantastic match between Mia Yim and Xia Li. Mia Yim picking up the win. The Horsewomen ended up attacking Mia Yim afterwards, but then they were run off by a couple other up-and-comers. We had MJ Jenkins, Lacey Lane, and a third woman who I couldn't really tell who it was, but they ended up getting beat down by the Horsewomen. Shayna ended up dropping Mia Yim and held the title up. So we might be looking at Mia Yim heading in a title direction, because we now know that next week Mia Yim will face Shayna Baszler. So Mia Yim starting to get that forward focus there for the women's championship potentially. Bianca Belair, Io Shirai. I mean, the names are endless as far as who's going to be looking to face Shayna Baszler. Then we had a little situation backstage where Johnny was getting ready to defend the North American Championship against Velveteen Dream. Candice LeRae came up and said, hey, you know what we have to do, right? And, they were kind of having a talk. Tommaso Ciampa was hanging out to the side. Candice didn't like him very much, but he's like, hey, you need me out there. And Johnny's like, no, I need everything I need. I have right here. And Tommaso's like, well, I'll be watching then. And Johnny and Candice left. We had a little preview of an interview with Jeremy Borash interviewing Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle talking about how he's glad that he's past Cassius Ohno and he's looking towards NXT Gold. Doesn't matter what championship it is, he's looking for it. And then in the main event, Velveteen Dream defeated Johnny Gargano to become the new NXT North American Champion. And we had Tommaso Ciampa actually watching from above the ring the whole time, kind of like in a skybox type of thing. We've really only seen that particular area used once in NXT history. But Ciampa was up there watching the match and watched Johnny Gargano lose, and I guess he was a little vindicated because he knew that Johnny needed him out there. But we'll see how that translates into next week. But holy crap, this was one of the best nights of wrestling. Both shows, fantastic matches. I'm giving a like and a love to the whole thing. There's only one real thing that I don't like, and it's the fact that we saw Gargano and Ciampa being buddy-buddy both on Raw and SmackDown, and now all of a sudden Johnny feels like he doesn't need Ciampa. It kind of works, but it also feels like, well, why was Johnny so cool with Ciampa the last 2 days, and now all of a sudden he didn't need him? Was it because Candice was there? It's a little weird, but I'll let it slide because holy crap. First off, Gallus versus Webster and Andrews, a fantastic kickoff match. Trent Seven versus Shane Thorne. Shane Thorne's trying to make his own thing go now that Nick Miller's not in WWE anymore. So him versus Seven was a fantastic match. The promo from Zach Gibson was amazing. Like, not only is he a fantastic wrestler, but he can talk his ass off. It is so good. And then we topped it off with a fantastic women's championship match. Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley. I love both girls. They're fantastic wrestlers. Toni Storm, and they have fantastic chemistry as well. They play off of each other so well, and it's, they have that, like, Toni Storm is the smaller babyface, and then Rhea Ripley's the brutal heel, and it just works so well. Crowd was totally into it. Both ladies fucking killing it. And then on NXT, Aleister Black, Roderick Strong kicking it off. I mean, Roderick Strong, I know he's the messiah of the backbreaker, but he still never ceases to amaze me what he's able to come up with. He ended up, like, on the apron, had Aleister on his shoulders and, like, tossed him onto the top of the turnbuckle, and Aleister didn't die somehow. It was amazing. Mia Yim, obviously fantastic, but I love Xia Li. Her entrance is really cool. Now she has it, like, timed to the music, which is one thing that Triple H is really good at doing, is when he's setting up, he's kind of helping people set up their entrance. He did it with Finn. He's done it with, I'm sure, Tyler Breeze and, stuff like that. There's just, like, the timing she has, because I love the fact that she has the fan, and she has, like, the choreography that she has, and now it's so well timed with sound effects and everything. It's so cool. But she had a fantastic match with Mia Yim. Xia Li, who wasn't one of the strongest in the first Mae Young Classic, came back and was a little stronger. Second year, is getting better every time I see her. She's so much fun to watch. And then topping it off, Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano. I expected this match to be like a runaway favorite of both shows, which, don't get me wrong, it was probably the best on both shows. But the other matches really brought it. Like, it didn't run away with, oh, this was absolutely the best match. It had some competition, but definitely deserve the main event spot. Both guys killing it. The story with Johnny and Ciampa is so good. Now Velveteen has his first singles title. Johnny lost his first singles title on his first title defense. All kinds of things are happening here. Amazing stories on NXT. NXT UK is getting better. Now that it's down to that one episode a week, it's so much easier to follow. So much easier to get into. The fact that Jack Gallagher is coming in. Sorry about that. I just hit the microphone. Like, there's so many good things happening on Wednesday. I mean, the week just gets better. Raw, take it or leave it. SmackDown, more than likely always good. NXT and NXT UK, fucking killing it. But that is my review for NXT and NXT UK. This has been the midweek wrap-up, guys. Thank you all for watching. We want you to like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Let us know what you liked. What did you like about NXT? What did you like about NXT UK? Who else do you want to see in the Dusty Classic? Let us know down below. Be sure to follow us on all the various social medias. You know, Robbie K is not here, but he's got a brand new Instagram down there because he's a big-time referee, so go ahead and check out his stuff. You can follow me on Twitter. You can also check us out on Facebook and all the various things there. We want you to check out our podcast where you get this review and all of our regular reviews in podcast form. That's the SoundCloud link down below. And we want you to check out our other channel. That's Reasonable Wrestling Fans. It's Reasonable with a W, like wrestling, where we have the list with Robbie K. Not quite, but soon. We have other videos loosely based around wrestling. Thomas Wolfe has a question of the week every now and again. We have an entire playlist of unboxing videos where we get cool shirts like this Faces of Fear. We get Micro Brawlers, Funko Pops. We get Braun. We get all kinds of stuff. And you can go check out the brand new uploaded punishment video where it hurt, but maybe you'll get some enjoyment out of it. Go see what happened to me after I failed to beat Robbie K in predictions for Elimination Chamber. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. Oh, one more note from Robbie K. Fuck Mo Jordis.